The year is about to end, and we're about to get into the new year. I hope you guys are all prepared. Everybody's all ready to march into this new year according to the Roman calendar. And I also hope that you've set your program for the new year. You know, the new year to some people is about embarking on a weight loss or lost weight, whatever you can call it, but weight loss. New Year is not about weight loss. The New Year is about programming. You got to bring down your calendar and you have a goal. So to me, your goal should be end of year goal. So you said, this new year, this is what my goal is going to be. This is what I have to accomplish by the end of 2025. Those accomplishments has to be something you've started in 2024. Or if it is something you've started in 2024, ask yourself, am I going to conclude that in 2025, or am I going to conclude certain part of it in 2025? Don't overwhelm yourself with the completion of goals in 2025, because the completion of something is not the quality of it. The completion of something might be a mid-term goal that you've set for yourself, or a long-term goal that you've set for yourself. If it's a long-term goal that you've set for yourself, that's to say that you've already have certain levels of accomplishments that you have to make. Maybe you've done 20% of it in 2023. You've done 20% of it in 2024, and now you have to do 20% of it in 2025, or 40%, or maybe the remaining 60 to finish it up. But if you know you can't finish up that goal which you set in 2022 that have gone into 2023, make a mark of what you can accomplish in 2024 based on resource availability. But you have to have a goal. So your goal in 2025 shouldn't be mostly to accomplish something, but to have impacted what you've started. Or if you have a new goal, if your goal is a whole brand new goal, is it a short-term goal, something that can be completed in 2025? Or is it a mid-term goal, something that has, because mid-term is anywhere between 2 and 5 years, that mid-term. Anything above 6 years is called long-term goal. So if your mid-term is that you got to, if your short-term is that you got to start a business in 2025, what have you done in 2024 in terms of that business? Or are you going to just start doing this business in 2020, in 2025? If you're going to start that business in 2025, okay, start it in 2025. Don't postpone it. Have you done the registration for that business? If it requires 20 registration, have you set bank account? Have you started the goal? Is the goal of that business going to be a short-term goal? Because starting a business is not something you do as a short-term. It's a long-term project. Certain businesses you may have to take one step or two steps in a single year, because it's a business that you're starting. But if you have a lifetime commitment, it's also a long-term goal. But if your goal is to get married, that's a short-term goal. Do you already have a fiancé? Have you getting engaged, or have you engaged somebody? Those are things you can do in short time, which means you can do the wedding and you can start the process of having a child, those things can be accomplished in a full calendar year, depending on your fertility and the rest of it. You can accomplish those things in less than a year. But if your program is about starting a business, it's not something you start in a year and conclude in a year. Those are mid to long-term process. So my thing is this: if your goal in 2025 is to start that business, don't give up. If you can accomplish it in 2025, don't give up. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep accomplishing what you're doing. Keep fighting for what you're good at, because your goal is to make this happen. Like I said, 2025 is not a year just for weight loss. No, it's not a year just for weight loss. It's also a year whereby you can accomplish what you set your goals to. But if business is what you want to do, sit down, lay down those business plans, talk to somebody that have done it before. Try to see if you can do an internship in that business. If you can't do an internship, hire an expert to do that business with you. Hire an expert that you can pay to do that business. But start something. Start somewhere and make it happen. Start something, start somewhere and make it happen. That's how businesses are started. So, another thing again that I do ask people is this: do you have the resource, do you have the money that is required to start that business? If you don't have the money, do you have at least 20% of what it takes to start that business? Are you looking at getting a loan? Are you looking at getting people that will do the business with you? Are you looking at getting a partnership that have the resource but they don't have the time to run the business? Because that's another way of doing business. You don't have to invest. You can invest your time whereby somebody else invests the money. Because sometimes in business, we are trying to wait until we get the money before we start business. But there are people out there that are ready to invest in somebody's business because they don't have the time to run the business. So they will invest in you. So make yourself available. Approach people that have money and see if they can invest. But at the same time, make sure that when you approach people that have the money, let it be somebody that you've got into contract with, somebody you can discuss with, somebody that has the patience, because some investors have no patience. You got to sign a contract with them, they have a timeline of return, which means the business that they give you money to start has a return date. When it comes to that return date, you have to pay them back. And what I do tell people, do not approach people and use their money to do your business. It's detrimental. It's good to approach people and tell them to invest in your company and own certain percentage of the company. So that way you can use their money as a turnover. You can use their money to run that business without under the obligation of paying them back. Rather, they would then be rewarded, they would take the dividend. They will be paid based on the dividend of the company. Because what happened in some instances whereby you borrow money from somebody to run a business and then the business flops. In instances whereby the business flops, you panic. And when you panic, now you have to refund them their money back. And you don't have that money. The money is gone it's gone due to bad business investment. It's gone because you didn't have the foresight to do this business, but you think you could, but you couldn't. And guess what happened? Everything gets destroyed. Your reputation is destroyed. You're running around trying to hide from your debtors. But you could have avoided all those things. One way that you could have avoided them was to give shares of your company out, so that way you don't have to, you pay them based on the performance of the company. So if the company doesn't perform good, they don't get rewarded. If the company performs good, they get rewarded. That's the essence of doing business with partnership. Not doing business whereby you get investors that you have to pay back, or that's pay back the principal. So I'm glad somebody told me to pull over, so that way I don't wreck myself on the way. And thank you for the advice to Freya Solik. I'm pulling over now, so that way we can have a better conversation and I can concentrate to talk more. Then those are things you can do in business. But what I'm trying to say is this, right? In this new year, have your goals set before the new year comes. Set a goal for yourself. But when that goal is not met, don't give up your project. No project is written on stone. Projects are made to be accomplished. Goals are made to be attained. Projects are made to be accomplished. But in a situation whereby you don't meet your goal, soldier on. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't give it up. Keep fighting. March into it. And achieve what you have for yourself. That's the essence of having a goal. Then another thing that I want to talk about is when it comes to life expectation. We as human beings, we always have expectation of ourselves. It goes with discipline. When you have an expectation, you have to have discipline. If you don't have discipline, you set yourself disciplinary goals. And also you allow yourself to face the consequences of not being disciplined. Don't give excuses to yourself, but don't punish yourself too much, because you need the energy to be able to stand when you fall. That's the thing about discipline. When you've gone through those disciplinary process, ask yourself, what have you learned? What can you do better? But one thing that I tell people all the time is this: never hold things to yourself. Look for somebody that has your best interest to share with, and don't avoid criticism. It's good to be criticized, even if when you defend yourself or defend your shortcomings. Don't throw away that advice which has been given to you. Take that advice, even in your disagreement. Still take the advice and work to make yourself a better person. I have situations. This is my life story. Sometimes I will embark into something. I will make a mistake. I know I've made mistakes, and then my friends will tell me, no, you made a mistake, you shouldn't have done this. And sometimes I want to defend my mistake. I want to defend it because I think my ego is bruised. But one thing I do that I do encourage everybody to do, when your ego is bruised, take that advice that somebody has given to you. Take that advice and match with it. You might not acknowledge it that moment because of your ego, but do not throw away that advice. Don't trash it. Take that advice, step into somewhere, and implement what you were told. But you don't have to implement everything. But within yourself, you know where you're lacking. Like I do tell people, knowledge is not something that you just have fell on your lap. Knowledge is acquired. You have to attain knowledge. You have to acquire knowledge. You have to, it's something you acquire through so many processes. So many processes. One of those processes is listening. One of those processes is lifetime experience. One of those processes is learning from somebody else's experience. You cannot acquire knowledge by praying about it, by fasting about it. It doesn't happen. Fasting and prayer will never give you knowledge. They don't give knowledge. Knowledge is something you must pay for through your sweat, through money, through association, but knowledge is always paid for with time. Time is the essence of knowledge. You only attain knowledge when you've invested the time. There are other things you're going to invest. It might be money. It might be whatever it is. But it all comes with time. You can pay the money, somebody else is not going to sit there to get that knowledge for you. You have to invest your time. But have communication. Communicate with people. You might not like the way they advise you. You might not like what they say or the way they say it, but take their knowledge. Take their knowledge. Even when you disagree with them, take their knowledge. Because some people might be rude in their advice, but the knowledge that they're spilling cannot be purchased. The knowledge that they're spilling to you cannot be purchased, even in that disagreement. So, the business that you're trying to set up, study about it, know about it, and push for it. Set your goal for the year. Weight loss is not the only thing you should do in January of 2025. There are other goals you have. Set those goals in motion. Try to find out that what can you do to make yourself a better person. Brush yourself up. Meet people of like mind that have certain interests at heart, or that want to start starting program. Meet those people. Discuss with them. Research resources that are needed to make those things happen. You can always reach out to me on this website, on my on YouTube. You can send me a message and say, hey, this is what I have in mind. What is your advice? I will advise you. I don't charge. I don't charge when it comes to advice. I won't charge you. I will give you a free advice on varieties of things. If you want to start a real estate program, start a real estate program. If you want to start an investment portfolio, start that investment portfolio. Do what you can to make yourself a better person. Do not think one way or the other that you cannot do it. You can do it, but when you know you have a shortcoming, reach out to folks. Reach out to people. Then another thing again that I got to say is this, right? Do research online. Look for videos on YouTube that can help you to attain your goal. There are so many resources out there that can help you to attain your goal. If you have a relationship problem, in that I'm going to also discuss things about relationship, because relationship to me and business are in the same coloration. They are in coloration with each other. That means they all go hand in hand. A good relationship produces a better business. A bad relationship tanks a business. It makes your business to tank. So, I'm going to discuss a lot about relationship as well, because it is one of the prerequisites for a better business investment. And also your habit, sleeping habit, eating, what you eat, exercising, exercise your mind and your body, because those are things that you need to be able to become a better business person. You cannot be a good business person when you have a health issue. You can't be a good business person when your health is deteriorating, when you eat bad food, when you can't think, when you are stressed. You can't be a good business person when you're stressed. You can't be a good business person when you have a bad diet. You got to have good diet. You got to be able to have diets that shows you to be presentable, because those diets that have good impact in your body, they brighten your mind. And when your mind is brightened, you can think right. When you can think right, you can make better business decisions. So that is one thing. So I am looking forward, like I said earlier, I'm going to be putting a lot of YouTube videos out. Mostly short YouTube videos, until I'm able to arrange panels again. So when I'm able to arrange panels, build up my panels, then we can have hourly discussions on things that have to do with investment, business, politics, family, urban development of many sorts, both here in the United States and in Nigeria, because this year to me is a year that I want to engage myself in so many things that I've started 2-3 years ago. That's the same advice that I'm giving to many folks here, that I'm saying, this is part of the advice that I said, that if you started a program that is 2 years old, 3 years old, you may have to go back and rebrush that program and continue where you stopped. Just like YouTube. The whole of this year, I've been almost AWOL. I don't think I've released more than 5 videos the whole of 2024. But 2023, I did release videos. But 2025, I'm going to brush up those videos that I released in 2022, 23, 24. Then I'm going to dive more into the educational aspect of what I've said before and what I'm going to be saying now, and how to help people to develop themselves and their business and relationship. No relationship is perfect, but how you handle your relationship tells about how you can handle a business. How you handle your relationship tells how you can handle a business. Yes, some people might say that, there are people that have failed relationship, but they have successful business. Yes, that is true. 100% correct. But at the same time, you took your time to build your business. That's the same way you should take your time to build your relationship. A solid business is a business that was built on a solid foundation. A solid relationship is a relationship that was built on a solid foundation. Anything you build on a solid foundation will outlast you. Anything you build on a solid foundation will outlast you. Period. There is no argument about it. So that's why I'm saying that you should build a solid business as well as build a solid relationship. Because that's your relationship. You might not have you might not have the temperament to deal with your relationship, but you have the temperament to deal with your business. It doesn't make that much sense. Except I can give you a leeway out of this. There are relationships that you get into, your spouse is just bad. There is nothing you can do to fix a spouse. That I understand. If you can't do anything to make your spouse a better person, it doesn't worth it. If you can't do anything to save your business, you gotta let it go. If it's taking more than you can reap, if your capital is greater than your profit, and that in business is just taking all your capitals and eating your profits. That business relationship is not meant to stay. That business it has to go. The same happens to a relationship. If a relationship has no benefit, you either have to step away, reboot, and then come back and retry, or you gotta let it go. So it's very, very vital in every sense, that before you go into something, you have to prepare for it. You have to prepare for it. Prepare for it greatly. Prepare for it and be ready to do it, to make it happen. Like some people they meet a wife, they meet a woman, and they just married a woman, and they start a family. That is not how to start a family. First, you have to lay the foundation yourself as a man. You have to start laying the bricks. Build on the foundation. Make the foundation solid before you bring somebody else. But before you bring that person in, you have to vet. Know the family. Know what is in the family. Know the kind of family you're marrying into. Make sure that you vetted this individual and they are what you want in a relationship. And then vet their state of mind. Vet who they are. Vet their friends. Know who are their friends. What kind of friends do they keep? Then find out how they discuss, how they resolve issues, how they resolve things. Find out the brothers and the sisters. Find out family members. Find out all these things. Those are things that you need to get, and the friends that they keep around. Those are things that you need to have in your hand before you make a decision if you're going to be in a relationship, in a marriage with this person or not. The same thing applies to business. You have to know the kind of business you're getting into. Know if this business is a business that you can afford to invest your capital into. Understand the location where this business is going to be placed. Understand the market for the business. Know if this business, other business in that area thrive. Understand that find out if you have the forthwith to do this business, because other people that come into this business and didn't survive, what was their capacity? What kind of knowledge did they have? Did they know the business before they come into it? And did they fall out of the business because they didn't have what it took to be in this business? Did they make the right decision? Are they customer service oriented? Do they have the knowledge of customer service? Do they have the temperament to do business? Those are things that you have to find out about those that didn't survive in that business. Then the ones that survive in the business, what did they do before they started this business? And what are they doing to sustain this business? What is their business? What are their business models that make them to make profit off of this business? When you find out all these things, then ask yourself, do I have what it takes to do this business? And if your answer is yes, and you've done this business in the past, you're not just investing in a business that you never have any single experience in, but you're investing in a business that you have experience in, then go out there and make it happen. But if you've never had any experience in that business, right? Become an intern. Do researches. Go work for somebody in that business, so that way you can gain the knowledge that is required to do that business. I don't like to see people fail. That's why I started this channel, because I hate to see people fail. But I'm here at the 30 minute mark. I hope that whoever sees this video is going to like it, appreciate it, implement it, like and share and subscribe. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful holiday. Goodbye.